Alright everyone, Stephen Hawking is dead, and I thought it was a little bit ironic because I had been talking to Baked Alaska, a couple hours before, about mainly religious stuff. I'm known primarily as a political presence on YouTube, which is somewhat unfair. I do gardening too, or would if it weren't snowing at the moment. Like, it's the coldest, snowiest March I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. But I was talking about mainly spiritual stuff with him, and then Hawkins dies, and what happens? This individual who himself, he's not a religious expert. Stephen Hawking's a scientist. He's like talking about black holes and weird theoretical physics and stuff. That's his forte, mathematics and science. He dies, and all of a sudden it becomes like a weird national religious conversation because he happened to be an atheist. And so people, I remember, I was on one of these other live broadcasts with the Pennsylvania election. And all of a sudden when it was announced, oh yeah, by the way, Stephen Hawking's dead, people are like, oh yeah, now he's surprised to find that the afterlife is different than he envisioned. People are like, oh, he is in hell now, and just weird shit like that. And it just reminded me why for so many years my main concern was, religious people, fundamentalists are fucking nuts, which they are. Like, religious fundamentalism is a cancer. It doesn't really matter which religion it's part of. And I'm sure not all those people that were making those comments are Christians. Trust me. In the new globalized age of religious ideology on live streams, presumably Muslims and Hindus and other people are not. It's like his karma was bad or something. And I'm just sitting there wondering when he died, if he died in his wheelchair anyway. He had that little electronic pad, and I guess it would spit out, random stuff. When he died, did it start spitting out random words or sentences or something? That would be interesting if they had, like, footage of it. Did it start leaning towards the religious, like, oh, I see the light or something? Maybe that's how we'll prove that there's, some sort of spiritual system. But he himself was a hardline atheist. He literally, quoting him as, like, religion's bullshit. It's a fairy tale. There is no God. You're a machine. When you die, you just sort of blink off. That's it. Fucking deal with it. I'm not sure that I 100% agree with his assessment, but I thought it was rather disrespectful that so many religious people were like, immediately, this person who contributes to science, that's his primary motive in life is science, not discussing religion and debating it with you. All of a sudden, they're like, well, he's in hell. Ha ha ha, or maybe he gets redeemed. Now in his last moments he accepts Christ because it's like he sees the light or something. That's really rather sad that people immediately turned it into a religious debate. It's really rather sad. Just for the record, when I keel over at some point in the future, no, I will have not accepted Christ, nor will I have converted to Islam, because I know Christians and Muslims both have a habit of claiming that people on their deathbed or whatever have become members of their religion so that they can claim all of their accomplishments. If they're a person of any merit at all. They did anything, particular, that they would have a wiki article or whatever. If they did anything at all, then they magically converted on their deathbed. Like, they've claimed this about Anton LaVey. Oh yeah, and the Destiny cult claimed that he had been part of their stuff. Like, one of their channelers, the bald-headed girl. You don't even know if they exist anymore as a cult. I remember their major force on YouTube in botting years ago. They used to attack people's accounts with downvotes if you criticize them. Trust me, I saw plenty of people that had that problem. They're like, oh, there's this weird cult of bald people that pretend to channel the dead, and then, then the people there, they'd figure it out, they'd attack them with sock accounts. But, they're trying to channel Anton LaVey and saying weird stuff. And it was just, it was a bunch of bullshit. But yeah. So he's dead. You should let him rest in peace, but literally the body's still warm. He probably died within the last 24 hours. He certainly hasn't been interred or cremated or whatever yet. And by the way, are they going to bury or cremate him with his wheelchair? That'd be funny. And then all of a sudden, like, spooky stuff happens. Like, yeah, here, really funny joke. He'd probably find this funny. Hook up, like, a battery. Have, like, a wire running underground with some solar panels over in the woods somewhere that people wouldn't know about, or on the side of a shed or some bullshit. Run it down into his grave where his little pad thing is. And then just have some, like, system where, like, a clockwork machine randomly hits it to spit out words. And then have a speaker running up through the grave, have, like, a hollow grave, and then it says weird shit. Because he would find that so funny, the concept. People come to his grave, and they're like, oh, here's head atheist himself. And then they hear, like, an ethereal, like, otherworldly voice telling them that there's no God. They just freak out. They start smashing the gravestone. I think he would find that to be within his realm of a sense of humor, actually, but unfortunately, stuff like that, while very funny to think about, people don't think of these things. Like, before they die, they should set up elaborate hoaxes and ploys to do, like, weird stuff. Like, I already know, when I die, I'm gonna have a round gravestone. I do want to be buried. Like, actually, I wanted my body to be in two parts. Part of me is going to be buried, basically my skull, in the ground as the remains, their physical remains, in case aliens come down and want to, you know, revive me or something. I can't take the chance. The rest will be put in sort of one of those burial pods that they put a sapling. They'd actually turn your body into like fertilizer, and with some soil, they mix it together and they plant a sapling. You can actually have a tree to plant. By the way, I'm not sure exactly what kind of tree I would want planted. Maybe a paper birch. Those are nice trees. Something that's going to spawn mushrooms or whatever. But the grave will have to be round, and I'll tell you why I want a spherical grave. There's an old urban... I know I'm getting off topic, but it's funny anyway. There's an old urban legend that I've seen, I've studied this, that spans multiple states and indeed countries, where all of these spherical graves, which are rather uncommon, they're called witch graves. That is, that at some point there was a story about some witch or something. The odd shape of the gravestone, I think, spawns the story. Oh, this person must have been a witch, or that's why you can't have a regular gravestone. And so now that urban legend in the internet era has spread around, so now every spherical gravestone is considered to be a cult or something in nature. Well, you know, who better to occupy such a grave than someone who's, you know, literally making a living, editing and writing occult things and talking about occultism? Yeah, it could work. Yeah, definitely. Definitely be something for people to visit. By the way, if you visit, make sure to pour Red Bull on my gravestone. But, yeah, or any other energy drink. That I will accept the penance of Monster. I will not, however, accept Four Locos. Those are disgusting. And I will not accept Rockstar because it's too sugary. And if it's NOS, it has to be the sugar-free blend that I can't seem to find in any local stores, okay? That's how you cheer me on in the afterlife. You know, I'll be down in hell. And I could really use a Red Bull because it's going to be kind of hot. You know, sitting in the sauna 24/7, you're going to get a little bit pruny. You need something to refresh yourself with. I know, really off topic. But yeah, Stephen Hawking is dead. Condolences to his family and friends. And he was a cool dude. You know, how much cooler do you get than this brilliant, like, a fucking literal rocket scientist, and he talks with a computer voice, and he's like, you know, a robot or something. He's like an android at that point. It's great fun. I don't agree with everything he said. Like, I think some of his summation of black holes is a little, no, maybe not, and there are competing theories that I happen to agree with a bit more. But yeah, he's an interesting, intelligent dude, and it's like, come on, can you suspend your religious bullshit for like 24 hours after someone keels over at least and not say, haha, they're in hell? Like, you know, it's like, I'm interested in actually, like, the news of his passing. I'm not interested in your opinion regarding his spiritual beliefs. Okay, he's dead, you know. Okay, you're gonna die too someday. Do you want the first thing people to say to be, oh, well, you didn't join my religion, so you're suffering eternally? Or, I mean, it's nuts. It's just crazy. That's about all. Peace out.